All right, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. My name is Algo, and thanks for joining me on another morning watch list building session. Today is Friday. Yep, December 17th, 2021, 1 week away from Christmas. Let's go. Who's excited for Christmas? I am. All right, let me get signed into the chat. We'll get going. We have a lot to cover today. So it's going to be rapid fire sessions. If you have requests, get them into me now. And if you're new to the stream, welcome. Thanks for joining me. We've got quite a bit of information to get through today. We've got some news to look at. We've got a bunch of stocks I want to review. And in preparation for next week, I'm just going to touch quickly on the beast numbers. I'm not actually going to be giving any specific levels, but I just want to go over the service and how surprisingly accurate it is. It's my personal ATM. They should change the name from Beast Numbers to Cash Machine, right? And their logo should be PAL doing one of these. You know, with those cash machines that you see at the strip clubs that shoot ones, but it should be hundreds. All right. So let's see here. Let's get into the news. I want to make sure everything's going well. Morning stream. How are you? Okay, chat's working. We've got economic data today. Final CPI, final core CPI. Those have already came out for Europe. Foreign security purchases. And we have an FOMC speaker today. So Waller is speaking. How much that's going to affect the market, who knows? It's the last day before going into a holiday week. So typically the last 2 weeks of the year are super bullish, and it's what's called the Santa Claus rally. However, looking at the indexes so far, we're inverse of what we need to be for a bullish move today. So if you want to just real quick, we'll just take a peek at these. See if I can get these to refresh. Remember our generalized rule of thumb, bottom row down, top row up. That's the way we like to make money. 1 second, I need the water. You guys ever see that Seinfeld episode where Kramer talks about the pretzels? Pretzels are making me thirsty. I think of that every single time I go and get a water. All right, so with that being said, like I said, our generalized rule of thumb is our bottom roll of the overall market, which would be gold, crude, bonds. This is TLT, and then the yen. We like to see those down. What that means is it will typically have a rally going into the day. But look at the numbers. Look at gold just ripping. So inverse of gold would be obviously crypto. If I could figure out one more index to look at here, right, I would slap in another chart. Holy gold. Wow, gold's just ripping your face off this morning. 1 second, let me make sure people note this. Gold is ripping faces. Okay. Crude is down, bonds are rallying. That means our ES, our NQ, our YM, which is the Dow, and the RTY, which is the Russell 1000, are going to be falling. So, I mean, that's okay going into the pre-market. I'm not super concerned about it, because if we were rallying pre-market, then we'd have a gap fade filled play, right? However, this is crazy. All right, I'm going to wait to see if anyone else joins the stream. And we will get going. Okay. I'm going to check in on Twitter real quick and see what's up. See what is up. Okay. So it puts out. Dude, I just spam Twitter. I gotta figure out how to not spam Twitter. Okay. So All right, I am gonna look at some specific levels here. All right, AMD. I'm gonna be looking at AMD, Tesla, Nvidia, Netflix, SPY, all the fun ones today. Shall we? Okay, let's see if I can get some chart markup going on here. All right, we like to grab. I like to grab little zones, right? We got a zone there. And we got, oh, what happened there? Alright, so we've got a supply zone down there. We've got a demand zone down here. Right, and then obviously we've got a little micro supply zone up here that's really weak. Like, look at the volume, not a ton of volume in that. So, even going back. Look at that. I think I just figured out an easy way to draw zones. We got one there. All right, we got a high volume zone here, and we've got a little micro zone up there. So this is the 39-minute chart. Currently, negatively stacked moving averages below point of control, below VWAP. We do have a ready and fire signal and slingshot squeeze getting ready to release on the 39-minute chart. So if I were to try to find a little micro supply zone in there, which is where we're at, let's throw a fib on it and see where we can expect to go. So from high to low, we rallied up. If we're back testing the 382, we can easily fall down to 133 and 130, right? Those 133, 130s. I'm going to be looking to get those at about 25 to 30 cents a piece, exiting about, $2 or $3. So this is a pretty decent level for the downside. All right, we got that level there. And this level here. I might like the way I do that. I might like the way that this is gonna work. What did I just do? There we go. Bottom right. This might be a new way of doing this. Since nobody's really wants to join the stream this morning, everybody's a little late. I can appreciate that. We'll do these. Oh, I did those backwards. Dang it. That's fine. Right. 16. All right. I like that idea. There we go. That's the move. I think that's going to be the ticket. We can rally up through and get up into this cloud. Let's do this. if AMD is able to actually find support here and rally up, looking to take 139, 141. So the 140 call is 142. Could be a lotto. Obviously, we don't want to play any lottos on Friday because we are no longer going to lose our butts on Fridays. So let's do this. Let's look at these. These are the 140s. Right. So 140s. And then let's look at the 142s. 142 would be a massive move for AMD today. It's also the 618. So it's a 0.618 inch and sweet. All right, that's Alpha Advanced Micro Devices. Looking at it from FlowTrade's perspective, we want to check out AMD. Look at NVIDIA. Look at Goog. And let's check out Facebook. Sweet. Alright, so obviously I did something. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and check in on Facebook. See what's happening there. Looking at Facebook on the 30-minute chart. Rally, rally, rally. Pretty decently strong uptrending here. If this level of support holds, right, we're currently at point of control. Look for a quick pop to the 2134. If we can get back into this cloud, look at the cloud top as potential profit taking. Rally, pullback. I don't know if this is going to be the best fib level, right? I think that's a great idea there. Ooh, I'm liking point of control. And let's see, Facebook could do 334, 336. Or 325. Let's look at the 325. 327.50. Yeah, I think those are good levels. So the 325s. Let's see. Those 325s can do. That's a pretty significant move to the downside. Right. That would be Facebook rejecting the 382 and bringing us down to pretty significant drop. Everything looks pretty heavy this morning, so I wouldn't be surprised if we look at something like those. All right, so Facebook falls. We got some downside targets. Facebook to the upside. And got a little bit of, it's going to have a little trouble getting over point of control and the 21 back into the cloud, so above the 50% retracement. So 340s, 335s maybe. Look at the 340. Morning. Okay, so the 340s here. All right, that's Facebook. Welcome. I'm gonna wait and see if anybody else joins, and let me just go ahead and get into the news, and then I'll get back to what I was doing, kind of drawing out a trade plan for the day. Shall we? Sounds good. While I read the news, I'm gonna go ahead and throw up the futures. What I've noticed currently is kind of inverse of the way we need to be going, right? The yen is up, bonds are up, gold is up, crude is H-shaped, so that's very bearish for crude. And then the ES down, NQ is down, the YM is down, and the Russell's down. So everything's selling off overnight. What that may do is it may give us an opportunity to bounce off of support. I should really try to find the old 21 EMA, right? I need to create, let me make a note of that to myself, create a chart for futures 21 EMA, 1 second. Futures 21 EMA and POC. I think so, and we're gonna do that on the 39 Celts. I think I just found the winning ticket there. Winner, chicken dinner. All right, let's get going. In the news, Oracle is actually, yeah, we're gonna use this one. So Oracle is in discussions to acquire Center in a deal that could be worth about $30 billion. The Wall Street Journal just reported saying the deal could be finalized soon, assuming talks don't fall apart. All right, Oracle is having kind of a bad day. I know there's a lot of information on this chart to digest. Let's see if I can figure out a way to. So we've got. This is our MACD getting ready to curl around. Is it? Oh no, that's our squeeze. Slingshot squeeze could possibly be setting up for something today. MACD has not quite curved over and is actually pointing down a little bit more. We had a radiant fire signal that failed. Currently bouncing off of the 4-hour Keltner channel bottom and through the daily. What? One second. How was I able to do that? This must be an old. This must be the old version. I think I've got two different versions of the old Celts going on here. I do. All right, that's fine. So as far as Oracle is concerned, rallied right up to my 1414 extension, failed the 127, came back down below previous lows, currently resting at the 4-hour bottom. So what we'd look for is a bounce off this 4-hour bottom, back up to retest previous lows at 190 or at 99.50, and then try to fight its way out of this Keltner channel, daily Keltner channel cloud, up through the weekly cloud, and fight its way back up to the mid at 101.89. However, market's pretty heavy. Look for this level of support to hold. If it cracks, we have room all the way back down to 95 on Oracle. That's a pretty significant downside move, so we're just going to see what has to happen at the open, right? Oracle did come out and have news saying that they're in discussions to buy CERN, right, which is another company that is rallying off of that news. All right, CERN's full trifecta mode, blasted up through the monthlies, out of the dailies, weeklies, toplies, everything. So is there a downside play on this? Absolutely, right? We could possibly get the pullback, right, to 88. 86, and finally 82, right? We are in a what's called a trifecta, which means we've blown out of the top of all of the Keltner channels. We're trading out about above 3 ATR. So this is what that looks like on the daily. All right, we're way up here. Right, CERN's way up here, right? It only moves about $2 a day, and guess what? It's already moved. All right, it's already moved $18. That's bananas move. Absolutely bananas move, right? Rally to bull flag. So let's keep an eye on CERN. Morning. Oh, hey, what's up, Laz? Morning, Johnny. How are you? Oh, you guys had me scared. I thought I was going to be doing this alone today. I was sad for a minute. Thanks for your support. I truly do appreciate it. I don't feel like I'm talking to myself in the morning. Okay. So what I'd mentioned was Oracle's in a discussions to acquire CERN, right? CERN is bull flagging off of that news. So if we wanted to play that, obviously, I mean, upside targets are break off 100, 102, 104, 108, $2 a day, bull flag, right? Look at this sucker. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I've got to turn on my options machine. Hold on. All right, options machine's loading up. All right, I'm gonna get through the rest of this news. I want to cover. I've got. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how late I am. Have a lot of things to cover today, so I'm gonna speed through the rest of these, and I'm just gonna use my handy dandy trusty Keltner channels. That's the same thing. Like the same thing. Look at that. That is a beast. That's a blowout stock right there. Right? That news came in yesterday at the close. It rallied almost 20 points. It's bull flagging. This could be a continuation play. Keep an eye on it. I need to make a note of that and let the group know. Right. Blow out top trifecta on Oracle acquisition. I can't even spell acquisition. I don't know what I'm trying to. All right, let's get it, shall we? See, the CDC advisory panel unanimously advised yesterday that people take an mRNA-based vaccine as opposed to the one developed by Johnson & Johnson, right? Did you hear that? Anybody who's in J&J just got clapped, basically. So the CDC came out yesterday, and the advisory panel for the CDC unanimously advised yesterday that people should take Myrna as opposed to Johnson & Johnson. There's been evidence that Johnson & Johnson vaccine can trigger a dangerous clotting system called thrombosis. One second here. I apologize. I am trying to get everything moved to the right screens for the day, and unfortunately it's being a little bit more of a pain in the butt than I thought it should be. Get this guy here. Right. All this. Jeez, come on. What the? You would think that I would be able to close things out easily, but nope, not gonna happen. All right, there we go. That's just gonna have to work for now. NVIDIA. Put some labels in that so I can get a little bit more review on it. All right. Dude, what happened with this chart? So having multiple monitors is a blessing and a curse at the same time, just so that you know, in case anybody ever asks. Trying to get the options chart pulled up. I've had several requests from people to show specific options chains, and I've got no problem doing that, right? None at all. Come on. There we go. All right, and finally this. Okay, so, all right, just to repeat. I'll check out NVIDIA in a second. It got clapped. Everything got clapped overnight. You guys weren't here. Let me just run through this one more time. Okay, so this is our futures market. The yen, bonds, and gold are all up. So typically that'll mean we have inverse reactions with the ES&Q and YM and Russell, right? So currently we're selling off. American future, cash futures are selling off. Bonds and yen are rallying. Gold is rallying. I actually like this going into the open. That might give us a rally, a quick pop rally, and then we'll either make a fade for the rest of the day or we'll just rip your face off for the rest of the day. So quick pop, make a decision, right? And then see what the move is for the rest of the day. Okay, so I talked about Johnson & Johnson. So here's the news. The CDC, right, Center for Disease Control Advisory Panel unanimously advised yesterday that people take mRNA-based vaccine, right? So mRNA, Pfizer, right? Pfizer's probably just going to rip your face off again today. mRNA, right? As opposed to the Johnson & Johnson one, because Johnson & Johnson can trigger a blood clot called thrombosis, right? That's important. So watch for Johnson & Johnson to get clapped. I'm sorry for those of you that are in it. Like I said, maybe you'll get a quick pop rally back to previous level of support. I'm so far behind, right? Obviously, people started trading that, so maybe we get a quick pullback for a longer move to the downside. If that news actually hits, it should affect the market. Protect your positions, right? Don't panic, but definitely protect your investment. Okay, moving on. European Union drugs regulator on Friday rejected Biogen's Alzheimer drug, right? BIIB. We played that quite a bit. It rejected it. It's definitely pulled back to the daily bottom, trying to find some support there. Everything else otherwise looks super bullish on this, other than they rejected their drug, dealing a blow to the U.S. drug maker after a panel voted against the treatment last month. So let me just drop this down to a smaller chart. Consolidation, news came out, right? Boom. Tweezer bottom. You see that? Tweezer bottom off a daily and 4-hour cut channel support. We might actually get a rally up back to 234, right? 237, or this is just a 1-2 longer term move to the downside. If it breaks, I mean, I'm going to wait till it breaks 224, even 223.50. Then you play the move back down to, the monthly bottom at 202. So with that being said, okay. If we wanted to grab a downside move, let's do it like this. Short-term downside move. You take a fib from previous high to the low, right back up to the high. And you see rallied right back to the 382 retracement. Most stocks will hit this and continue on. So I've got downside targets of 224, 220, I think that might work. I wish I could do values on both sides. So 220, 77. All right, so here it is. Pullback, rally, pullback. This is what that move looks like, right? You run up, you hit the 382 retracement, you come back, right? this is setting up for a pretty long move, like a larger move. So if the 3 level is this, right, I'd have to measure that a little bit more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got clapped. Their drug is not available. So keep an eye on BIIB. Contrarian, right? This holds, and for some wackadoodle reason, this was already baked into it. Then you can pull back to the 618 at 228.54 on the break of 231 for the next move up. You play it up to 235. $8 ATR, this thing can move. Okay, that took longer than I expected, so I have to move more quickly. Mo fast. Mo fast. Hsbc has been fined £64 million or $85 million by British regulators for failings in its anti-money laundering process spanning 8 years. This is a Chinese bank. Got clapped. Right? Massive rally yesterday, consolidating. They just got, like, I don't understand these news. So obviously 4-hour top is super support. Above 29.50, we hit 30. Below 29.50, we come back and back test 29. HSBC. Okay. 4, announced a stock repurchase up to $100 million. Right. Rally back into the 4-hour Kettler channel bottom. If it bounces there, look for a move to 53.50. This thing moves about $5 a day, currently trading at 50. So this is that move for the day, right? If this level holds, then we see this kind of move, right? Okay, contrarian, we crack, right? We crack this level, and then we play the downside move. Whatever that may be, right? There's a downside move. What is it, 45? Something like that. So 2 ways on 4, shift 4 payments, right? We've got descending MACD or descending histogram on the squeeze. No squeeze happening on, the 15-minute chart. Our ready and fire signal is firing to the downside. MACD's bearishly crossed down, so I would look at, some support. If it breaks support, we go down. We go short. If it breaks resistance, we go long. Okay, moving on. Chinese regulators are planning to ban online brokerages such as Futu Holdings. So this is super important. I have a Moomoo account. You've seen me. I think I just gave away my account. So this is a broker similar to Webull that allows you to trade the Asian markets. Chinese regulators are planning to ban it from offering offshore trading services to mainland clients due to concern about data security and capital outflows. Okay, so they're basically saying, yo, if you live in the US, you can't trade. You can't trade with us anymore. So I'm clearing out my account, which sucks because I was in such a rally on it. This is definitely what's appearing to be a nice little bear flag. Got mid compression squeezes, ready and fire signals setting up to the upside. MACD histogram is crossed over and bullish. So what happens? Do we buy the news, sell the rumor? Right? We do have a nice little ABC pattern kind of setting up here, right? If I did this correctly, it would look better. Maybe one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's something here. I'm just missing it. Just missing it. This could be a bear flag, right? Could be a bear flag to the downside. We are trading below most key factors. We're in a difecta mode, so I would look to this possibly to the downside. May get a quick pop back to, the 4-hour top or 4-hour bottom at 37, but it's in difecta mode and it just came out with bad news. 24 is the next downside target. Okay, that's on Futu. Also, Tiger, right? TIGR. This one's probably being affected a little bit more. I think this stock will go to zero. Just simple, you know. I don't have no silver lining for this sucker. May get a quick rally to 490, but I think we get an even longer downside move. So real quick, pop, lock, drop it. Okay, moving on. ExxonMobil, XOM, is slated to bid for new blocks of Brazil's deepwater oil fields. Reuters is reporting saying any offer would mark the company's first major investment since it decided to resume spending following a 2.24 billion annual loss in 2020. Okay, so basically they're like, yo, we got into the monthly, we didn't like it in there, we rejected it, let's come back down to the 4-hour and test it. So look for a possible bounce at around 60, 50 for a move back to 61, 62.50, and ultimately 62.50. Contrarian, if we fall below, if we hit 60, look for a back test to 60.50 for a longer term move to the downside. Iridium fire signals are getting ready to fire off to the long side. We got a curling squeeze histogram, or we got a curling multi squeeze pro slingshot release. Let's try that again. Squeeze pro slingshot getting ready to fire off to the long side. Expect immediate rejection at 61.70, right? Which is, looks like daily mid, 4-hour mid, monthly bottom, monthly cloud bottom. It's pretty significant rejection point there. Downtrending stock, right? Positive news, maybe a quick pop, right? Maybe a quick little flush for a move here like this, right? Only moves $2 a day. Just be nimble, right? That's ExxonMobil. X US Steel issues Q4 guidance of adjusted EBI TDA, right? Is expected to be approximately 1.65 billion versus 2.13, right? That's not so bueno. It's not good for the company. Their guidance indicates another quarter of strong performance, yet reflects a temporary slowdown in the entire sector. Absolutely. So what do we do here in space? It came down, it touched the daily and the 4-hour bottom, rally back up, touch the 4-hour mid. Does it come back down and touch the daily bottom? So downside play, look for support at 2183, potentially 2150 for a quick pop back to the mid, 2264, and then maybe 2360. Contrarian, we break that, right? We break through this cloud, so we take out lows, we come to test 2130, and then finally 2060. Slingshot squeeze, radiant fire getting ready to fire off. Histogram is negative or neutral but increasing, right? And it looks like we got a crossover. That's radiant fire. Looks like we got a little MACD crossover earlier this morning. So, all right, moving on. FedEx, boom. FedEx with the win, yo. Shares are up 7% as they announce a new 5 billion share repurchase program, including a 1.5 billion accelerated share repurchasing. FedEx, this is a great move. So right from the 4-hour bottom through the top, up to the daily top, pull back, support off of the 4-hour Kelt, trying to get through the daily Kelt. If it can get through the daily, it's got room to the weekly top at 264. Obviously, with what's going on in the overall market, we have to be a little careful. So histogram, MACD histogram's neutral. This is neutral. Radiant fire is, it's a little oversold, but maybe a little more consolidation. The support off of the 4-hour top is great though. Blue trend bar, or positive trend bar. Looks like, I mean, hopefully it doesn't just create a bull flag today, and this move is actually pretty decent, right? The worst thing that could happen is volatility to come out of it, then we just chop. So FedEx break at 253.35. I go long for $6 just to what did I say, 250, 253, 259, so 260, right? So from here to here, and then there. So the safer play is above 260 for a move to 265. That's on yield FedEx, right? FedEx is strong like bull, okay? I forgot how much I like trend spider charts. Right, let's take out 252, move to the upside as far as, if we had to fib this, right, 248, 246 support. We do have a previous supply zone right there as well. Rising 8, rising 21, rising 34. Looks like we're getting a 50-200 crossover. I'm going to go long on FedEx. So just confirm that with the old FlowTrade. See if somebody knew something. Yeah, did they know something? Ooh, I think they might have. All right, algorithm is pretty much steady buying. All divergences played out. Played out. Price action trading with the algo. I like this. Need the algo to basically do an about face bounce here and take price out of this, right? This, it's not a megaphone, but let's see, we did finally fill the gap. There's one more gap down here. It comes in like 237. I don't think we're gonna need to hit. FedEx is trading at 250 already, so it's already blowing all this out. It's way up here, right? FedEx is up here right now. So dark pool support coming in at 240. Right, that dark pool came in yesterday morning at the open. Right, we got a pop off of it, pulled back, back tested it. Yeah, so FedEx looking pretty bullish on the day. We got another supply zone here. So just be careful. I'm going to keep FedEx on my watch list for today. Okay. Rivian, RIVN, cash equivalents at, what the hell? So they delivered their first consumer vehicles. It's RT1 pickup. Okay. They delivered their first consumer vehicles, their pickup truck and their sport utility vehicle, back in September to December, respectively, saying that they can expect to start production in Georgia in 2024. They expect the facility to have capacity to produce 400,000 vehicles annually. Rivian. I hate this stock. I think it's so overvalued. Like, this is a $30 or $40 stock in my opinion. Just because it's got the Amazon name doesn't mean jack, right? Well, I mean, obviously it does, but unfortunately, nothing I can do about it. I would say we've got a demand zone in this area here. I'm going to be a little generous on it. Currently in a demand zone. Obviously, we've got major supply zone way up here. I think the most next recent one should be in this area. How did I screw that up so bad? I am so off with my supply zones lately. Right? This is Rivian. Bear flag, right? Downtrending stock. If it cracks IPO low, which is at 95, then expect some free falling. Right? If it takes out 95, whoo. There's also, I think that opened. Did it open at 95? Right, so we do have a bear flag. Right, this is what a bear flag looks like. How is it possible that that sucks so bad? How is it possible that that sucks so bad? Let's see. All right, I think that'll be good going forward. Right? Obviously, that's what a bear flag looks like. This is a 2-hour chart, so maybe a little more consolidation. We've got overhead resistance at 103, almost 103. All right, so Rivian, I'll look at it later. I want to short it to the bottom of the ocean. Okay, GM coming in saying that they're down 3. What? There we go. GM is down 3% after their CEO of its majority-owned Cruise self-driving car subsidiary. What? Oh, okay. So General Motors is down 3%, saying that their CEO of its self-driving car subsidiary is leaving effectively immediately. GM did not give a reason why, saying that their Cruise president and chief technical officer will serve as interim CEO. That's not a good time. Sorry, GM. You were looking pretty strong. Looks like Ford's coming back to kick your butt. As far as the move, I don't play GM, so I wouldn't know. Radiant fire to the downside. All right, we got the 4-hour bottom at 33.75. Let's just call it 33.70. So potential move to 33.70. If this level holds, then I think we could see maybe a pop back to 34. Definitely downtrending, not super bullish on GM to begin with. All right, dude, I'm so far behind. Okay. All right, that's it. World news, Bank of Japan left interest rates unchanged as widely expected. All right. This is the yen. That's bullish for the yen. Corporate debt purchases are set to be tapered to pre-pandemic levels and emergency funding schemes scaled back once the March 2022 deadline is reached. Loan assistance for smaller businesses was extended another 6 months, while support for larger firms will gradually scale back from April. That's good for the yen. Still, bonds pulling back. We like to see this. Come on, go ahead. Form your little horseshoe, right? Come back at the open to a decent price so we can get a little bit of a move. I'm not liking this bounce on the Russell. Rally, pullback, rally. The YM is suffering as well. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. So we might actually get a nice chance to rip today. Okay. Earnings DRI, which is, I don't remember what they do. I think I've played them once or twice. Darden Restaurants. They got earnings this morning. All right, so in Asian markets, the Nikkei index tumbled 500 points. Holy shit, dude. Oh, oopsie. Holy crap. Dang it. That's a lot. Or 1.79%. Sorry. That's not so bueno. So, Nikkei index is down. Shanghai falls 1.16. Hang Seng dropped. German DAX is lower 1.7. FTSE is up by 0.25, and oil prices are looking lower, with another decline in Bitcoin prices. Right? Just imagine that. Gold's up, Bitcoin's down. In Transport, FedEx super strong. Following strong quarterly results, trading volatility may pick up ahead of quadruple witching hour, where futures and options on both single stocks and indexes expire heading into the close for the quarter. U.S. stocks slid on Thursday as weakness among large tech stocks and consumer discretionary dragged down major market averages, while the same sectors look poised to start the day lower again. They're not lying about that. They are not lying about that. So, and then finally, U.S. stocks are further sliding down, having now erased all the gains posted earlier this week as investors retrace following a surge in the COVID variant as infection rates rise and amid ongoing inflation. They're just regenerating, regurgitating the same stuff. I don't think that's what it is. It's rotation, and that's what it is. It's going to be some rebalancing and some rotation, and that's what has to happen. Okay? Not so much like so new infections are sweeping through sports, ward canceling games, and putting players on the sidelines. Reopen related sectors are seeing weakness led by travel and leisure. All right. That was the news. I apologize. It took me so dang long to get through it. So let's get going. Johnny wants to look at NVIDIA. Absolutely. I don't have a reason why NVIDIA did what it did. You want to, oops. One second. This is related to NVIDIA, so. Threat update. Alright, I get my stuff updated. Because I'm not seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing. Alright, so this is the NQ. This would affect, right? This would affect why NVIDIA is doing what it's doing, right? It broke major levels of support and resistance, right? Broke a supply zone, broke a supply zone. We've got a demand zone down here, which I hope we don't have to hit. It's a large demand zone, don't get me wrong, but it's still, basically it runs from this level that we're at now to there. That's our zone. I'd love a zone bounce, like that little doji on the 4 hour taking us down, right? So we did slip, right? Count for slippage, consolidating pullback. Absolutely right. We broke through a pretty significant demand zone, right? Hopefully that works. These are super important lines. I love these voodoo lines. All right, let's just go back to look at NVIDIA from the FlowTrade. All right, so as far as NVIDIA on the algorithm is concerned, right? Rally, look at this head and shoulders that's forming on the 15-minute chart. I'm a little concerned about that. So shorting it below 283, right? It's trying to hold support. It really, really is. It's doing everything it possibly can. Point of control is at 285. VWAP's at 295. Do we get a bounce play today? I don't know. We got a squeeze that's firing possibly to the downside. Negatively stacked moving averages, right? 50 or 250, 34, 21, 8. It's good. You know, this is very heavy. The algo isn't really helping us out. It might be a little bit of consolidation here. We've got some magnet targets that should try to pull us up, right? Those would include, I got a double magnet here at 311.50, white line level, regular block level. For those of you that are new, let me explain what's going on with my charts. What we're seeing here is the smart money dark pool and block trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. The purple line is the regular algorithm. It tracks smart money, large institutions, hedge funds, block trades, dark pools. Yeah, it tracks that. It is a leading predictive indicator, which means it doesn't rely on, it's not lagging like MACD or RSI or anything. It tracks the flow index. So it's a leading indicator, tracking transactions and everything. So what we like to see is, for example, on Facebook, where price action is continuing on, smart money is getting out. They started getting out back on the 8th at the 330 level, right? And so they're taking profits. You know, they're closing out positions, right? So what we try to find is areas of divergence. Like if you look at this FedEx play, we had bearish divergence that played out. Price action continued in one direction. The algo started selling off. Price action came back down and met up with the algorithm at the point of divergence is 240. So this divergence here is played out, right? That's a good example of divergence playing out. Another micro divergence here, another micro divergence here, right? So those are the divergences that we like to play. So with NVIDIA, the price action's just trading with their algorithm, right? So it's, you know, if price is making higher highs, the algo is making higher highs. So what I'm looking to do is see if this is a consolidation level here for the algo, and we get a break and a rally, or we get a rejection and a pullback. Currently, we've got some what's called these horizontal lines. Red are regular block trades, blue are dark pool block trades. If I draw a white line across the screen, it really does mean it's party time. I'm just kidding. It means that there's a regular and a dark pool level that are printed exactly or close enough that I can't draw two different lines. I find that those are major inflection points, and I draw them on my chart. I like to see what happens with price action at that level. So currently 302, pretty significant level for for NVIDIA. 283.87 is another one of those significant levels, right? It may not be to the point, but there's, you know, definitely influence at those levels. Price action rallied up, smacked into this regular block trade that came in yesterday, right at the open sell-off, and is currently trying to reverse. So we do have a little bit of dark pool levels in there that are going to affect price. We've got a dark pool base that's formed here, right? We've got a base that comes back to the 14th here, right? So we've got a dark pool base. We've also got some dark pool resistance. So if we can get over these dark pool levels, I need to use a different color for this. Wish I could find a really cool blue. Can't remember which one shows up great. If it's this one or if it's this one. Not finding my blue. It's gonna go with this one here. All right, you guys can see that, right? So we've got other dark pool levels that provide support or resistance on our way back up. So what we want to see happen is, what I'll do is I'll use yellow to draw direction, support, resistance, things such as that. Looks like we had some trendline support that broke, right? We've got a little double top there. So what we want to see happen is we want to see this algorithm break over this level here and continue to move to the upside. Contrarian, if all this support breaks, right? If we get a breakdown and we start taking out lows, right? Then we can fall pretty quickly. So what I'd like to see happen is maybe we go ahead and form this other left shoulder, this right shoulder today, or we reverse. So 291, what's Nvidia trading at right now? 278. Right, we've traded down to daily Keltner channel bottom, 4-hour bottom, daily bottom mid. This is consolidating, right? The squeeze pro is consolidating. MACD is trying to neutral but increasing. Ready aim fire rejected the mid buy signal, so a little pullback. I'd like to see. It looks like there was that wick could be some stop killers, right? Wick up, take out everybody's stop for a larger move to the downside. 271.50 below 270.50, and then 250 to the downside. Contrarian, this level holds, and we start retracing back up to some previous highs. We've got the 4-hour, or we got the daily cloud top at 281. Above that, we hit the weekly cloud at 287.50. The 4-hour mid comes in at 288, right? Basically, we try to retrace this candle right here. I don't know if we're going to get to it, unfortunately, but it can move, and when it moves about $21 a day, so $279, $299 potentially. Like, do we get back to here? It took it all back in one day. It can give it all back in one day. So just got to be nimble with Nvidia. It's set to be on an upcycle, right? So as far as Nvidia levels go, hold on a second, where are I going here? All right, give me 1 second. I gotta go wake some people up. All right, sorry about that. I had to go wake some people up. NQ's starting to lead a little bit. and the Russell as well. I kind of want it to be a little bit more consolidation, right, for the next 45 minutes or so, right? Just because I want to get a nice rally today. However, with the rally, are we just going to rally back to the mean? NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA rallied up. This is the daily, right? We pulled back. We hit the 50%, or we hit the 50 SMA on the daily. Rally back up, touch the 21. So does this set up for a larger move to the downside? Ready and fire, getting ready to fire off on the downside, or ready and fire mid. Let's just call it it's getting ready to fire off, right? However, the Squeeze Pro hasn't shown the decreasing histogram, right? So it's still increasing. We'd like to see it change to light gray to increase a to indicate a decreasing histogram. Slingshot squeeze to release. So we may get another day of either consolidation, or this may turn into that day where it gives us a little bit of a pop. So currently trading at 1 ATR. The 21-day EMA is at 312. We've got some pretty significant resistance at 300. Red bars, not super bullish on NVIDIA. However, I could be completely surprised. Let's go ahead and look at it on, this is the 13, 21, 34 EMAs. That slingshot reversal signal failed, double yellow. Looking at the 4-hour chart here. These are snow lines. I will get into a little bit more of those later. So everything is really, really red and bloody, right? So do we do what the market does, or do we just try to follow the opposite? Is this setting up for a larger move, right? 1, 2, 3 retracement? I don't know. So those are some key levels. I would really like to so red 10x bars, right? So we've got a snow line at 280. We're trading currently. What are we trading at? 278. So we did break this downside. So we broke the snow line. Got a fire line all the way down here at 263, right? So if any of these levels of support break, NVIDIA I think can fall a little bit further, right? So or are we setting up for the greatest bounce in history, right? The algorithm is telling us that it's consolidating. Okay, that took a long time. I'm sorry. I'll get moving a little quicker here. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments. Morning, Terry. Myrna. Okay. Sorry, I just had to read all those comments. There was some news that came out about okay. So just a quick recap of the news. Okay, real quick recap. CERN is being acquired by Oracle in a deal. If it doesn't fall apart, a little bull flag forming there, right? Oracle sympathy play. It's below the 4-hour bottom and the daily cloud, so Oracle could fall down a little bit more. Okay, Johnson & Johnson's going to get clapped today because CDC came out and said don't take their vaccine. It can cause clotting, right? A dangerous clotting condition called thrombosis. But, however, Johnson & Johnson's currently at the 4-hour mid. If it cracks the 4-hour mid, so if it takes out 169.36, 168.39, and then finally 167. Contrarian, it bounces off of that and rips back up. Look for taking out 170 for a move to 172. All right, quickly, BIIB, right, got clapped. Their drug was rejected by the European Drug Regulator, stating that they voted against it. However, I'm not seeing really any movement here. I don't know if it just doesn't move pre-market, but it did rally up to the 382, pulled back to the 50%, and broke the 382 retracement. So it's acting bullish, to be honest with you, which is crazy. It's doing one of these moves, right? So BIIB, we've got 4-hour mid at 233.93, previous high at 235. If it hits that high, let's just keep an eye on BIIB. And then finally, FuTu is being banned by Chinese regulators. That is a bear flag breakout, so look for a larger move to the downside on FuTu. I don't even know where to give you a level. The next level I have from a kelp perspective is 25. So another $10 drop on FuTu. FuTu is gonna burn. I'm gonna let Josh know. At grade FuTu 0. Okay. And then finally, Rivian, right? They had their earnings. I wish I could figure out if anybody knows how to code in PineScript 4. Is that what they use for TradingView? Let me know. I need to recode this indicator to have it be a table over here. But basically, Rivian down to the daily bottom, holding, making higher highs and higher lows. Could be a quick pop to 103, right? If it gets above 103, then I'll have to look at playing it to the long side. However, I'm liking the 4-hour retest rejection. Rivian, right? Right, I'm liking that bear flag for a larger move to the downside. All right, one more look at the futures and overall market, and then I got to get into some plays, right? So ZB, which is bonds, this is TLT, rally pullback, failed to make a higher high, tweezer top. Look for potential, like, does it Wu-Tang reversal on its way out, or does it crack the support level? It's so hard to see with this one, right? That's the level to the downside. We've made, look at that tweezer top there, right? That's very bearish. Is it making a bull flag? Ooh, we'll just keep an eye on TLT for little hints. NQ looks like it bounced off of that supply zone, or that demand zone. Looks like it did a pretty decent job of bouncing off of it. So what is this? 15677. It's trying to make a recovery. Please don't make that move before the bell. Right? The YM, it's like this consolidating, right? Come on. I don't even know what kind of move that is other than consolidation. And then the poor little Russell, right? Maybe if it changed its name from Russell to something else, it would have better luck. Yeah, it's getting back up into some key levels here. Just gonna keep an eye on it. That move in gold, I like to see that, right? I don't have a chart to check crypto, but consolidation below the 200, right? It's holding VWAP, right at the 15 mid, right? Crypto's bearish, right? We got to get above this 200 and start taking out. What is that? VWAP. I haven't updated the charts on this yet, but crypto, it's making higher lows and higher highs. It's kind of channeling up, but all right. So, all right, that was a lot. Look at this Darvis box high at 285. 280, 285, right? 280 is the key. So let's look at the NVIDIAs. All right, so looks like NVIDIA is starting to recover. Okay, the smart play is NVIDIA above the 200 SMA at 280, right? Right, that's this rally to the 15-minute Keltner channel. If it gets to this 15-minute Keltner channel cloud, right? So a move to 280, right? Play that zone from 280 to 282. If we clear 280, 281.91, I think we get a nice move up to point of control at 285, falling 200 SMA. 285 is probably the extent that I would look at for today. So those 290 calls, right? Two to 4.5, right? And then to the downside, if we reject that 280, like the 270s at like maybe $1. These are lottos, so, right? These are definitely lotto plays. Do not get sucked into them. Okay, that's NVIDIA. What else do we want to look at? Myrna, Pfizer. Hey Johnny, is there anything you wanted to look at besides NVIDIA? Let me know. AMD, we've got bearish divergence, right? The algo selling off. Price action is holding at dark or regular block trade support. So this is a pretty key level. There's your target, 147. Support's coming in at 138. Downside support as far as down as 135, right? Those are regular block trades. We have dark pool block trades that can also provide some support and resistance at 138 or 133.80, and then 135-isk. Do we get a pop off of that? Possibly, right? Last time we were in these levels, we rallied up, back tested it, gapped up from there, hit support, and back down to the downside. As far as the algorithm itself is selling off, right? The algo is taking profits. It's pulling back. Price action was trading with it, but I'm thinking we might get a little bit of rejection. Very entirely possible that this is a kind of a sideways head and shoulders, and that this level here, right, is the neckline. We have support at 135, 133. What's AMD doing this morning? AMD is rejected off the 200. Oh my gosh, that's such a powerful level. The 200 SMA is so powerful. Okay, so what we're setting up for is potentially squeeze, or excuse me, a potential 50 retracement above the 200. I'm not sure what I drew this line there for, but as far as price action is concerned, it looks like we might have right? We might have taken out trendline support in preference for like there's a level right there that is, so basically this is our demand zone, right? We came down, we kissed the demand zone, we're below the Ichimoku cloud. You know, our moving averages are trying to get a little bit stack positive. Looks like we might get a little bit of a bounce. So Nvidia or AMD above 138. I think we moved to 141. Possibly, right? Don't. Possibly 144. So AMD. All right, AMD. What are we looking at here? So the 618 VWAP lineup at, what was it, 140. Hopefully everybody can see this a little bit better. I'm going to say 142 is going to be probably as much as we can get to today. So those AMD 142 calls. 60. AMD's at support, right? It's at the daily mid. If that daily mid holds, like I said, 142 is a 618. It's back into the weekly cloud. It's on its way up to the 4-hour mid. It's right at the weekly cloud mid. So I like the 142 level. Crap. I like 142 as long as 135.37 holds. If we break 135.37, then we play the downside move to 130, 131. So the 130 puts, right? Right, we do, you know, those probably, you know, 45 to, okay. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. Chia. Let me see. All right. Advanced micro devices. Is it 130? No. 132s. Those are the 133s. My bad. That's these ones here. The 135s have got a lot of open interest. So do these 130s. Right? Those 130s that closed yesterday at 20 cents. Right? Those 135s. Yeah, so I'm looking at these 133s, right? To the downside, I'm also looking at the 140s or 142s to the upside, right? These guys here. The amount of open interest, right? So if, let's just say we wanted to pin AMD where we had to pay the least amount of options contracts out, right? Do you mind paying 20,000 put contracts, or do you want to pay 50 or 60,000, right? This is max pain, 105. We got 50,000 open contracts there, 40,000 open contracts here. We've got, you know, 135 possibly, 28,000 on both sides, right? So 135s on Nvidia. $130s. Look at the open interest right here at the 140 levels, right? So those 140s should be 68 cents. Okay. What did I put up there? 142s. I actually like the 140s a little better, right? These ones here. I like those 140s. Looking at the 140s for about 60 cents, right? Let's do that. Sorry, I was just guessing at these numbers earlier. Okay, moving on. What else do we want to look at? AMD downside. If it cracks, yeah, AMD, if it cracks 135, definitely has room down to 130, 131, 132. Right? Definitely has room. But let's look at, how am I going to do this? So let's look at the squeeze. Let me just do this. Is my squeeze just squished? Is that what's going on? Maybe that's better. All right, so on the 5-minute chart, we've got a slingshot squeeze getting ready to happen, right? Got a ready aim fire buy signal. We've got support of the weekly or the daily Keltner channel mid. We've got low, mid, high compression squeeze when that releases. So I think we get a pop to at least the 4-hour mid at 137, possibly the 50% retracement at 139, 140. I'm going to play the 140s to the upside. To the downside, if we crack, right, 135, I think we come back down here and test the 132. Moving on. Roblox, personally, this week has been hard to find plays. Absolutely. Roblox, DKNG, or DKNG and Pfizer calls. Pfizer might be a good play, considering that news that came out saying Johnson & Johnson is bad for the vaccine. Pfizer's also at a good support level, right? It's at the rallied up, pulled back to the 4-hour top. This 4-hour top holds, we definitely have room to trifecta our way back out of this. Look at this gnarly move here. I mean, that's pretty textbook, right? From low to high, we rallied, or we faded to the 4-hour mid, 382 retracement, and we're moving off of that. Pfizer, dude, let's go long Pfizer, shall we? Price target on Pfizer, considering it's been paying all week. Dude, if they crack Pfizer, the 55 is max pain. Pfizer, the upside, those 65s are lotto. Those aren't going to hit today. 61s. Okay. Energy and healthcare. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. MasterCard, it's running into a little bit of resistance, Laz. It's running into the daily top and the 4-hour top. All right, it did pull back to the 4-hour mid, and so the next move is back to the 4-hour top at 353. Moves about $13 a day. Right, green trend bar, 352, 355. Above 355, it hits 360. That's a pretty decent move, right? Slingshot squeeze. Okay. All right, so I'm going to cut it loose Now, let me check. Did I make sure I covered everybody's requests? Right, we're looking for a ZB. Let me change my position on this to okay, so falling channel on ZB, right? The YM is just struggle busing it right now, and the Russell is making lower lows, right? The NQ looks like the NQ is just trading in a demand zone that runs 15,660 to 15,725. And then the old ES is, I'm actually happy about this move that's happening right now. I'd like it to pull back to these mogul lines of 4,600. If we can open at 4,600, I think we rally McRally today. That's a big move to the downside. Gold fell off, it's setting up for a larger term move to the downside. So this is a classic short position, right? Down here, up here, back down, right? You want to get short, close of there. Sorry, there. Right, so pull back. Okay. We're in a pretty decent demand zone. It broke our mogul line. 4,600, we're going to keep an eye on it. Love to kiss it and then rally off of it. Okay. AMD. AMD held the 50. Like I said, I might look at AMD long. AMD's I already did. The Google, that's Google. Google's being interesting. It held the 50 on the daily. It's trading at the 21. We got a mid-thrust buy signal. Slingshot squeeze getting ready to release. High to mid to low compression. As far as the Google is concerned, I would look to target, 3,000 is not out of reach. Right? Did I draw that demand zone? I did, but I forgot it's the Google, so it's probably, that's a micro. All right. Dude, seriously? No. Finally. Sorry, that's the correct demand zone. It's actually a little different. So check out what the Goog's do. Oh, whoa, sorry. Check out what the Goog's doing, right? That's Google is like, where does that trendline support come from? Is it right? So hopefully that holds. If that holds on Google, I see a rally to point of control of 2885. We got a VWAP at 2900. Unfortunately, come on, just zoom in. So see this 50 didn't break above the 200. It rejected off of it yesterday. That's what this fade was from. Hopefully we can get some rally and some movement up back into the cloud, right? back into the daily or the 2-hour cloud. 29.26. I'm hopeful. If you want to play the safer play, wait till Google gets back above 29.53, and then you can play that 29.53 zone, right? There's a $50 zone there. That's your supply zone. So from here. So there's your supply zone on Google. Above 29.53, I think we hit 3,000, and we reject 29.53. Okay. All right. What else do we got? You want to look at Roblox? Pfizer? Roblox? What do you want to look at? The Google algorithm. Jeez. The Google algorithm is trading with price action. We have regular block trade level magnet at 29.60. We have a dark pool resistance coming in at 29.16. We clear that. I think we can get long. What I'm liking, as far as what I do like, is I like this uptrend. I like that we've got a target here. I like we've got a target here. Right. I like the algo is possibly bouncing off of that support level. Right. And it's going to try to reclaim this level here. I'm pretty bullish on it, actually. I'm pretty bullish on Google. Okay, Facebook, I went over. All right, I got to run. Thanks for joining me. I got to get my plays set up. I'm going to be, these are plays I'm watching. The NVIDIA 2900 or 290 calls, 270 puts. The AMD 140 calls, 133 puts. That's what I've got on my list. So stay safe, stay green. We will see you tomorrow for the weekend watch list.